Hello book friends, how's everyone doing? I'm so glad you are here. I have got a great book to talk with you about today. The book is by a new to me author, which is always super exciting. I love when I can fit a new author into my reading schedule. I have had her on my list for a while now. She actually writes in a completely different genre than romance. So I had heard about her because we have some common author friends and book friends. But earlier, I think it was earlier this year, she released a romance book and I was like, oh, cool. Okay, that's awesome. And then I read the Evil Queen Anthology earlier in the fall, if you guys remember. And there was, I think, 12 authors, maybe there was more than that, that had little short stories in that book. The author that we're going to talk about today, she had a story in there. And so I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to read more about these characters. Please tell me there's going to be more. So I actually messaged her and asked her, do you guys ever do that? Do you guys ever message your favorite authors and let them know that you loved a book? Let me tell you, I do that all the time. It's actually how I've gotten to meet so many great book people and form wonderful friendships and relationships with authors and other book friends. Because you know what? I'm the type of person that wants to share and like gush about the books that I read, which is why I started my channel, but also to let the authors know, like, I loved your story. I know that authors put their heart and soul into their books and their characters. So I am that reader that always will like reach out to an author and tell them how much I love their story. And that's what I did with this book. So the author is Victoria Ellis, and the book we're going to talk about today is Reckless Desires. It's a Rockstar romance, which quite frankly is one of my favorite romances to read. There's something about the rock star thing, you know, I can't help it. Yep, I'm that reader. I'm that girl. I think it's like living out the fantasy that we would all have of like those hot rock stars that we like John Bon Jovi when I was, you know, in my late teens and early 20s. Hello? You know what I mean? But in any case, I reached out to Tori after I read her story and I was like, oh my gosh, is there more? Like, tell me. And so she said that she actually was about to release this Reckless Desires series. And I was like, please count me in. I would love to read it. Here we are. I can also tell you guys as a little spoiler that Tori is actually going to come on my channel. After the holidays, we're going to get together. She is from Chicagoland area as well. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a completely different style of video. Not really sure exactly what we're going to do yet, but I am bringing her to you guys. I am so freaking excited. I've wanted to do something like this for a while on my channel, and she was game, and I'm so thrilled that she is going to come and chat. Won't that be fun? So let's talk about Reckless Desires because, oh my gosh, you guys, I loved this book. I knew I liked them when I read them in the Evil Queen Anthology, which of course I will include that video in the description box below so you can go check that out. The book is about Isla and Bordeaux. Great freaking names, right? Isla is probably her younger 20s or so. She's in college studying music management. She's artistic. She has a great family. When the book starts, she has newly broken up with her longtime boyfriend, fiance, who she walked into their apartment and he's having sex with another woman in their bed. Like, that, my heart just tumbled on the floor reading that. Right away, I want to wrap my arms around her and protect her and love her and support her. And so that's where we start with Isla. Man, I was there for her. I wanted the best for her. I was like, okay, where are we going? You deserve a lot, my friend. Then she gets a job at a local record store, and It happens to be owned by a very famous musician's grandmother. Bordeaux, it's Bordeaux, and his band, who are like his bestest friends, that owns the venue and then the store, and she's looking for somebody to work at the store. Isla answers the interview. She walks in, there's Bordeaux. She's like, huh, there are fans outside the store constantly trying to get in and get at him, and he's just trying to like do his grandmother a solid and work at the store for her. But I loved Isla. I really did. She is not impressed by Bordeaux. She's like, huh, yeah, he's like that guy. She doesn't listen to his music, but she is a music lover, has great taste in music. She's well versed. Music is part of her. Bordeaux is just trying to like lay low a little bit. Him and his band are about to start a tour, the last tour that they have to go on with their current label. They want to write and perform music that's more true to them, but they need to finish their contract. Tori did probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen for her chapter headings. And I'm not going to tell you what she did because I want you to read the book. Each chapter heading was different, and I learned something from each chapter heading. It's the coolest thing, and I really liked that touch. They all had to do with the chapter in a different way. And so I got to the point after like the third or fourth chapter and realized that it was a thing. Like I was excited to read how that was going to fit into that chapter. Isla and Bordeaux have amazing chemistry. He is the typical bad boy rock star. The awe that Tori gives us through Bordeaux in how he responds to meeting Isla, I was a smitten kitten. He just is taken aback by the fact that she doesn't care about what he does. She's not one of the fans standing on the street looking in the window trying to get at him. She's smart, she's creative, she's sassy, she takes no shit. And he loves that. He's totally attracted to the fact that she's like her own person and doesn't really care. Now, of course, she knows he's hot. She knows who he is. She realizes who he is. But she's like, yeah, I don't really listen to your music, you know? And the fact that she didn't need him or want him for anything is very attractive to him. Interesting that she's coming from a place of having this horrible thing happen with her fiance, somebody she thought she was spending the rest of her life with. And yet Bordeaux's coming at meeting her and what all these feelings that are coming up for both of them, where he doesn't think he's capable of love or a relationship. So they're both at these different places, but yet here they are in front of each other. And it's the way Tori writes it, felt very organic and perfect. The perfect amount of chemistry. There was almost like this innocence to Bordeaux because he's never experienced what he's feeling for her, and looking at this person who is giving him everything that he never even knew he could want or need. I just loved every single second and every word of it. So, I always love to share my favorite passages and parts of the book. These are passages that I feel like gave me some good feels about the book. So much of what I highlighted is from Bordeaux's perspective because I understood Isla so much. I connected with her so easily. So what Bordeaux is giving me and what I was learning from him, he kept surprising me. And like I said, I was a smitten kitten. And so this is from his perspective. Isla Robles is a goddamn firecracker, and I'm just an innocent bystander being assaulted by her flair. I don't know what to make of this woman. She's nothing like I'm used to. Not like the average rock star groupie, falling at my feet, practically begging to blow me with her eyes. I'd think something was wrong with her if I didn't remember how things were prior to being signed by my label. Not all women are infatuated with musicians. Some of them actually despise us and the reputation we hold. Isla might be one of those women, and that might be a good thing for the both of us. And then a little bit later, it's probably better that one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen hates me. I can't ruin her if she doesn't let me. Okay, that was like, warning flag. What's going on with you, Bordeaux? What are you bringing to the table that we are going to uncover? This is from Isla. The crescendo of symbols brings me back to the present. Only seconds later, my eyes opening to see Bordeaux staring right at me. His lips making love to his microphone, our eyes locked on one another. I feel something. I feel it so quickly that I almost miss it. I feel alive. More alive than I have when looking at a man in a very, very long time. And that's scary. And Isla again. I like that he's so incredibly in awe of the fact that I don't seem to want to give him the time of day. I think it's absolutely absurd that he has as much confidence as he does, but it's hot. And while on the subject, he's undeniably attractive. But while it's not Manuel that I'm going to try to get back, I'm not sure if I should be trying to pursue anything with Bordeaux either. I just don't think I can trust him. Even if he wasn't a millionaire rock star, he's a man, and that's bad enough. Girl, we get a lot about that situation when she explains and she kind of opens up to him. And then there's this other thing that goes on that happened to her in her life. And man, talk about strength. This character had it in spades. And I loved the way and where Tori put it in the story. For me, like I said, I already loved Isla. And then we get these other layers to her. Oh, I just adored her. This is from Bordeaux. We're both broken people in different ways, but together, I swear to God, we are something otherworldly. He just had, I loved the way he talked about her. I just ate all of that up. He was just so swoony and the right amount, you know? And when he said this, next thing that I'm going to share, that was it. There's something about the chase, and I haven't had to chase a woman in a long, long time, if ever. Okay, there it is. That is why I love romance. I love the chase. And every author, with every book they write, the chase is always different. It's why I never get sick of reading romance. That's all I read these days. Most of the time. So when he said that, I was like, you're my guy. Yep, you're my guy. I was emotionally invested in these characters before I even opened this book. And as Tori unfolds the story for us, you know, I got deeper and deeper into it. Let me tell you, there was a part that I did not see coming. And they go through it in this book. It's definitely got steam. It's got plenty of drama. And there are some really serious things that Tori brings to the table for them as characters. But there was this one part, and I'm not going to spoil it and tell you exactly where it is. If you've read it and you know, I was in tears. Absolute tears. Had to put my Kindle down and literally walk away from it. Thinking about it right now gets me all filled up. The part that I'm talking about seemed to kind of come out of left field in a way for me, in that I didn't see it coming. Their story is not all rainbows and butterflies. It's definitely not. But this I just didn't see coming, and how swift and how hard it happened, and it literally shattered them. I was so upset. I was laying in bed, and that's the funny thing, is that when it's something like this happens in a book, if I know it's coming, I'll put the book down, because I read at night before I go to bed, and so I know myself enough to know that I won't go to sleep if I get that upset. It's just hard for me. And I was like, oh my God, how am I supposed to sleep? And because I don't know Tori's writing that well, because it was my first book that I read by her, I was shocked, and I freaking love that. I love that. So I actually picked it up the next day a little bit later in the afternoon and read a couple chapters to get through it. I mean, we weren't through it. We were not through it. But I guess my point is that I love the depth of emotion that she was able to bring me in that situation and with these characters was really amazing. And I cannot wait for the next book in the series. Let me know if you have read Reckless Desires or any of Tori's other books. I would love to hear. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I would love to have you consider subscribing and take a look around my channel and see the other Rockstar romance books that I've talked about. Maybe you've read them or some of the other tropes, and give the video a thumbs up. When you do that, it really does not only help my channel, but it will help this video get shown to more people here on YouTube. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.